I would like to upload this video if I'm able to. I think I'm banned for 3 months. And it's odd. This is why I want to put it up. It's odd. I have been on YouTube since August the 3rd of 2012. I have videoed on an average of 4 to 5, 6 videos a day most of the time till lately. And it's still been quite a few. And every day, I may have missed a couple of days. At least I've put 2 up a day and perhaps more, well, that many. My point is I put up today, and they took it down real quick. First time that I'm aware this happened, and they took down all the others later. I tried to put up 3. There's just one that was put up, and it was earlier, I guess, about the same subject. I'm Margaret Ann Windsor, and I'm heir to the British Crown. I am the legal monarch, Victoria II, Queen Victoria II. My father never married Wallace Simpson. He was married to Claudia Ruth O'Keefe Windsor, sister to artist George O'Keefe from Madison, Wisconsin. And he never married Wallace. She married a double, an imposter. There were 3 or 4, I don't know how many imposters running around doing horrible behavior, and it was blamed on my father. My mom and dad were still married in October the 20th of 86 when I came to Roanoke. Then alive. The double was buried at Frogmore, Windsor in 72. Now, I want to get to this. This is the reason that I put this up today, because somebody had asked me a question, because I've tried to put my life up in a narrative or diary so someone could see what has gone on. I'm going back to Atlanta, and my sons Mark and Scott. They're heirs after me, Mark and then Scott. So I went to a doctor there, and Mark was born. I stayed with him the whole time. I got pregnant real quick with Scott. Real quick. Anyway, just prior to Scott being born, there was a doctor came in, and he was from Spain. Of course, part of my family is he's king of Spain. I put some other stuff up, just a slight thing of Carlos when he was. Well, anyway, I put a paragraph up there, and then something about the king. And then I went to the video, did the video. The point being, that's my relatives, just like they are to Elizabeth. They would be the same relation as to her they are to me. Anyway, this is what I put up there that I think was the reason it was jerked down. And en route from YouTube, me sharing it to Facebook, it got messed up like this long trip across to get to Facebook. It got almost destroyed, and I'm laughing. It's not funny, but what do I do? Anyway, here's what I had up there. This probably won't go up, so I'm doing it for nothing. What went up on it is the doctor from Spain. Good looking. Excuse me, but he was. He came in, and my doctor was out, and I thought, well, I wonder what this is, because I don't think in the time I was pregnant with Mark and Scott that I saw another doctor. It was always this doctor, OBGYN, that delivered Mark. Now he's going to deliver Scott. So this tall doctor from Spain's there. I used to remember his name. But he was telling me, and he had the files, and he wasn't rude or blah, 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 but he was concerned and a little bit disturbed, it seemed. He said, I don't know why your doctor did not have the lab work done. He said, he should have had it when you had Mark, your first son. I don't know that he said Mark, but he was referring to Mark. And he said, you have got to go. I was due in a week or so to have Scott. He said, I'm going to make the appointment, and you go have the lab work done, because your son might need a transfusion at birth. So nobody had ever mentioned anything about transfusion or anything like that. In fact, my husband, John, would not let me go and give blood or anything like that. He always did it for me and the boys. Like, Anyway, I went into labor day before I was going to have the lab work done. And I hope I'm not doing this for nothing again. I hope it'll go up. It won't. But anyway, I went into labor and got there. And I'm not going to go into detail like I did on the other one because nobody could not know what's going on, for goodness sake. I went to another hospital because they almost tried to kill Mark. They didn't succeed, the rats, but they did. A little day-old baby. So now and then I go in, and I had him not long, and they said that my doctor was upstairs delivering the baby, so he couldn't. Then later they said he did deliver Scott. Anyway, he didn't because they put me on the table. They weren't supposed to do that and use gas because I have an autoimmune disorder. And it really makes me sick when I'm enclosed in where there's toxic fumes. Makes my immune system attack itself. And it doesn't fight off other diseases and things. And it gets so low and it affects you in different ways. The inflammation all over your body over time will kill you, your heart, your brain, your lungs, your kidneys. So I've been exposed to that deliberately over years and years now. But getting back to this, that may be part of because I'm from the royal family. My father is. My mom's O'Keefe, so she's no relation to the Windsors other than marrying my father. Now, I was pinned down on the table, and I could vaguely see the doctor that delivered my baby, Scott. And I was screaming because I couldn't stand the gas masks they were putting over me and holding me down. It was killing me. Anyway, when it was over, they brought me my baby, and I looked at him. He looked like he was 3 months old. He had this head of black hair that no way in was that my baby. For God's sake. Mark was blonde. My husband was getting bald, just like I am right now from all the chemicals I've had to inhale. And don't kid me, because I got an Oric over there that was sent to me, and it's full of gunk. I just had it a day and a half. So it lets you know what I'm breathing over the years. Anyway, I took the baby home. I told him, I said, "That's not my baby." And I made the statement, "I have a better looking baby or a prettier baby at home." And the nun looked at me like, "What's wrong with you, woman?" Well, she could look at the baby and tell the baby wasn't just born. Anyway, all this is gone. The picture of the baby and all this went April Fool Day of 80 when they almost killed me in Atlanta. I'm not going to go through that again. I'm just going to tell you what I've been putting up, all of that. But on this, I'm just going to get to this. They switched babies. Scott was, I kept this baby, and Ms. Childers came down to help, and the baby screamed every time you touched it. I thought, this baby's not mine. I love babies. Would never want to hurt them. But I thought, what is wrong here? So we moved in a month to Knoxville, Tennessee, and my husband, we had a bad time because the babies couldn't fix the bottles right and keep them cold and cook. But they moved us in the presidential suite, which sounds great, and it wasn't bad. At least they had 2 rooms, and I could cook and a refrigerator. But anyway, we moved on then real quick to, a month or two, to Donaldsonville, I believe is what you call it, outside Nashville, Tennessee, a suburb. And that's when, it was in the summer, they switched babies back, and my baby was there, Scott. And I was so happy. I remember holding him up, and his dad brought him a white kitty, not real, but little kitty. And that's when they brought him back. And I remember, anyway, I remember feeding them, and I'd put them in a wheelchair, was about where I feel like I need right now. Anyway, put them in their chairs, and I'd feed Mark the junior and Scott the baby food. And I remember thinking Scott would eat anything. He'd eat that yucky egg, which was good for him. But, oh God, Mark wouldn't touch it. But that was the happiest time of my life. So I'm going to leave it at this now. The reason they took it down is because of the doctor from Spain uh, telling me that. And of course, somebody can call me a liar. I haven't lied about any of it. The royal family married each other, cousins, etc., and it caused genetic defects. And one of them is hemophilia, and that was where Tsar Nicholas, who had a beautiful family, but his son, who was heir, had hemophilia, and he just lived a horrible life. They couldn't do transfusions, or didn't know to back then. So anyway, they've banned me after all of this on this first video that I can't use YouTube, and they're saying, it's just weird, it's strange. And that's all I had to say. But it's the DNA and all. I'm not the one that's lied and all this. My father is Edward VIII, and I'm Queen Victoria II, legal heir at birth.